On this episode of Unboxing Old Stuff, we have another 2-for-1 special, as we're going to unbox the original Game Boy and a copy of Dr. Mario for the Game Boy. Hello and welcome back to the Geek Cabal channel. My name is Jim, and today on Unboxing Old Stuff, I know it's been a while since I've had one of these, we're going to unbox the original Game Boy and a copy of Dr. Mario, also for the Game Boy. Now, I kind of wanted to reflect a little bit on why I even do these episodes, and I think a little bit of this is to kind of, well, one, relive what I went through, because the Game Boy was actually the first console I remember being bought for just me for Christmas one year. I still have my original Game Boy. I still have some of the attachments. The Game Boy in here is actually not my original Game Boy, but just to let you experience kind of like what it was like to get those things, because anymore you buy these, new game consoles, I don't think unboxing it's really that big of a deal. You just kind of unbox it, throw stuff around, throw all the paperwork out and go, whatever, I don't need any of that. But back in the day, like everything that you got with these consoles kind of meant something. So I would normally give some factoids, but the Game Boy kind of speaks for itself. I mean, it is, what really popularized the handheld game consoles, and even not being colored screen or backlit or any of that, was still able to outsell and outperform and pretty much outlast all the other, companies that try to, emulate, such as the Sega Game Gear and the Atari Lynx and even handhelds today. The power of the original Game Boy is still there. The fact that Lego is going to release a Lego version of the Game Boy should speak volumes to just how impactful this console was. So, anyways, let's get to the unboxing, and I'll meet you back here. All right. So before we get unboxing here, I just want to take a moment just to look at the box themselves. This was not the original release, but I'm pretty sure this is the exact release that I had received, because I, really remember the front of this with the digital hands, the Tron hands. It looks like it came from Tron itself. But yeah, like I said, this is not the original. But I always like this, because compared to nowadays when you buy stuff, you don't get this kind of a presentation. You don't get the, they're trying to sell you this by somebody walking by and seeing it. Yes, there were TV commercials out and different things, but, obviously the internet wasn't around for people to go in and see the latest and greatest. You could find it in a magazine. But, for the people that were just walking by, this was meant to catch your attention and want you to, make a purchase. So the items here that's listed is that this comes with a copy of Tetris, comes with the headphones, comes with the Game Link cable, obviously it comes with the console, and originally it would have came with 4 AA batteries. This obviously does not, because this was used, but from my recollection, everything else is in here. And just kind of looking on the side here, you do get a couple of accessories, such as the fanny pack and the battery, the external battery, the rechargeable battery, I should say. I still actually have my original rechargeable battery. It's not in this, but it is with my original Game Boy, and this is not my original. So, other side. See if I can get that a little bit closer. You do get some screenshots there of some of the games, and again, for being black and white or monochrome and green, or I don't know what you kind of color you'd say this is, the fact that this was still able to maintain relevance with graphics that look like this is just astounding. But it was, honestly, it was a way to play games on the go, and play full games, entirety of games and such. And this is another thing that you just don't get on, games nowadays, is, exactly what it is. Yeah, you may get, it's got a, 256 gigabyte hard drive or whatever. But no, with the Game Boy, you know, they had to try to sell it. They had to try to sell, you know, what it had, you know, what it was able to do. You know, it's got A and B buttons. You can link it to other game consoles. And they had to do this all in a very small footprint. So, you know, you got the kids down here playing games. They show the pack-in game with the, you know, display of it here. The included headphones, and then the link cables down here. So, and we'll take a look at the other box, or for the copy of Dr. Mario once we get to it here. So anyways, let's get this thing unboxed. And again, while not pretty in the beginning, because it's just a piece of styrofoam, I find it very well packed. So you got the little lid cover on here, so we're pulling that off. The first thing that we see is we got a registration card. The Nintendo Power advertisement. And these were always fun because I mean, these are the reasons why I got Nintendo Power. I mean, this just sold me on it, that I had to have this to be able to play my Nintendo or my Game Boy or any, you know, any Nintendo product for that. Of course, I open it upside down so you know, you can see what it looks like here. So here's the original packaging. So you've got the link cable here, copy of Tetris there, and the headphones down there. So the link cable, just connector on each end, and this would allow you to link 2 Game Boys together, or if you had the 4-player link adapter, you'd be able to link 4 Game Boys up using using these cables in conjunction with the 4-player adapter. But yeah, this was nice for some of the games that, you know, had the 2 players. Now, I think I may have used it once or twice playing F1 Race, but it's the only game I own where I actually have 2 copies of it for the Game Boy. So anyways, you've got the headphones, and these are still sealed. So this is pretty cool. You still got the original Game Boy headphones sealed, never used. Your copy of Tetris and its little protective sleeve, and these are always nice. It's the one thing that I'm glad that these games always came with, so that you never had to worry about them getting damaged or whatever. Just a nice little container those go in. Then you've got the Game Boy itself in a nice little protective bag here. So I'll just show you that real quick. Then we're going to go through this bundle of documentation here. So let me move a couple things out of the way. We'll go over the documentation that came with this. So first thing we got is a important notice. Just talking about, like, when inserting a game, you know, make sure you do it the right way, have the label out, and then how to adjust the contrast on the Game Boy. Then we have the manual for the Game Boy. I'll kind of put this all here so you can see all the paperwork that came with this. Try to get that into the screen there. Then a copy of the Tetris manual. So we've got a poster here that's got one side that's got, again, for Nintendo Power. And then sprawled out some of the games that you can get, some of the accessories you can get for the Game Boy. Now this is just a one-sided poster, but yet another Game Boy poster, and this one again with some of the accessories, some of the games that you can get. And then yet another Nintendo Power little booklet here, and again, you know, these were the kinds of things that sold me as a kid to, you know, obviously purchase Nintendo Power, because look how cool it is. Look how fancy it is. All right, well, that is all the documentation that comes with the Game Boy. So let me get this cleared out, and we'll come back with the other one. All right, so now the experience of unboxing a brand new Game Boy game. Now, these came in the cardboard boxes, very similar to the NES games, Super NES, but obviously sized specifically for the Game Boy game, which is a much smaller cartridge. But this is for Dr. Mario. So the sign here does actually say it works with the Game Link cable, so if I had another copy of Dr. Mario and another Game Boy, I'd be able to play 2 players with this thing. The blurb on here says, Dr. Mario is coming and he's got the cure. Got the cure for the viruses there. I guess throwing pills. Popping pills is the way to go to cure viruses. So just to read the blurb on the back here. It's Dr. Mario for an intense new challenge. Mario throws multi-shaded vitamin capsules into a bottle that contains ugly variety of nasty viruses. You can move, arrange... oh my gosh, I cannot read. You can move, shift, or spin the capsules as they fall. Arrange them to align with other capsules on top of a virus. If you can get 4 or more of the same shade, then poof, they disappear. Destroy all the viruses in the bottle. And your progress to the next round where things get even more difficult. Dr. Mario with the germs that are fun to catch. Well, if I learned how to read, you know, that may have been more dramatic, but no. But the back's got just couple little screenshots. Point to the right side. A couple screenshots on here. They had to really kind of go out of the, think out of the box, because you only have 2 colors, and the Game Boy can produce, and you need 3 colors for this game. So what they ended up doing was going with pretty much black, a shade, and white. So let's get this opened up and let's see what we would have gotten opening up a new Game Boy game. So, again, we do get some paperwork in here. We'll go with that first because that's kind of what's sticking in the book there. So, again, we get a copy of the manual. And I didn't show the manual on the other one, but there is a little bit of color to these manuals. Not a lot. I mean, it's funny that I think they've got more color than the Game Boy does, but it's nice that the screenshots show you exactly what you're going to be looking at. And just get a little, little snippet there. Not that you need much instructions on Dr. Mario, but it's there if you need it. And again, another copy for Nintendo Power. So if you didn't get it with your Game Boy, you've got it here with your new game. So, and then I love the presentation of this. Just a nice little holder that can fit in. The case that it comes in. And then the game itself. So, not a lot in that one, but wanted to, since I had it, and, pretty good shape, pretty accurate representation of what it was, wanted to include that into this video. But anyways, yeah, I'll see you on the outro. Well, and that was the unboxing of the original Game Boy and the copy of Dr. Mario here. So I hope you got some entertainment out of this. I know it's not a whole lot to see in here, but, it's still neat to look back at the history. Anyways, do the normal YouTube stuff, the like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll try to find some more stuff to unbox for you. But for now, I'll see you later.